All right, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well tonight. We're just going to jump right back into it. So at the end of the last stream, what we got up and running was the permissions. I realize I haven't set this up correctly. There we go. If we go to localhost, and put a breakpoint on the permissions API. If I go refresh again, you'll notice that we hit here first, and nothing happens until we get this data back. So if I undo that and I go play, I've got to hit play twice, it'll come back into here. Now it went to forbidden. So I'm a little concerned about now, but if I go to project and I refresh, it stays at project, but yeah, dashboard goes to forbidden. Oh, all right, no, that's dashboard. Okay, we might as well go in and modify that right now. All right, I'm just gonna close everything. I just need new frame of mind. We'll minimize everything. We'll go in. I believe this will be at the router level. So what I want to do, so I'm eating grapes, but they've got seeds in them. There we go. Is I want to go into the router. I want to go open up the router. So this is the before each. It's this here that is sending back something weird. We're going to go into it. Now, in reality, it shouldn't be passing this at all. In fact, what I'm going to do, console log, condition, we're just going to go object as key of max, yeah, and like that. I'm also at the top going to go object, like that. Oops, this is still in my Mac setup. We're just going to hit refresh. Going to move that off to the left. We're just going to delete everything because I just need to click the dashboard. So dashboard, condition, dashboard. All right. That's not working. Going to do another object in there. I'm just going to hit dashboard. All right. So I've done something wrong. Oops. Okay, give me a couple of seconds. JavaScript. Variable is a key of an object. Yeah, but I want to find the formula for it. Okay, hang on. And then we want to check the object. So that will be state.maximum permissions. Now, I'm starting to think we probably don't need that, but we had problems last stream where TypeScript was throwing up problems, being like, no, you can't do that. So yeah, all right, condition dashboard, sweet. If we go into requirement, that's fine. Let's ignore the Axios problem because I haven't set up the API. Cool, this is fine. So I think I just need both of those in there to, one to satisfy TypeScript, the other one as the condition, the proper condition. Didn't get every single seat then. All right, so what we got now is we can get rid of this because we won't have the cyclical problems anymore. So if someone's forbidden, don't worry about that error. If someone is forbidden, it'll take them to the forbidden page and it'll be fine. So if we go forbidden here, it's not going to throw up an issue for us. But I have a console log somewhere. Oh yeah, we've got to do the errors. All right. Final product though. A lot of seats in that one. None of that is any of this. Ah, TS. That's not bad. Let's put that on TS. All right, sweet. We shouldn't have any more console logs. Oh, so many seeds. So now we've got projects, we've got all the permissions happening like this. We should start actually implementing tests for this. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. The tests themselves will be at the Paneer level. We don't need to test the route at all because the route's calling something else. We might need to test this in here. Oh, sorry, wrong one. We might need to test this, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Yeah. And Joker Phoenix, how are you going? Hopefully you're going good. Welcome, welcome. All right. Okay. I'm not going to test the routing at the moment. We're going to minimize everything. We're going to open up stuff. We're going to open up source. We'll have the stores. And very much like the nav, we'll have some testing. It won't be much to test. It'll be a mock-up where we mock everything up, much like this. So update the nav, true is opened. Yep. Expect to be true, toggle, it's kind of like that. Gonna be very, very basic. I don't think we've done the search yet. But there's no business logic in the search whatsoever. I mean, all we'll be searching is, hey, if we add this to the state, does it get the state? I think that might be a redundant or silly test. You're doing good? Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I can't complain. Just been working lots. Now I'm just got to figure out how I want to set all this up, get the tests done. I'm a bit behind schedule, which I don't like at all. So yeah, I do not like that at all. But I still have to set everything up. All right, I'm not going to test the search, but we do want to test the permissions. So I am going to put the nav spec over there just for reference. We're going to open up both permissions and the test permission. So here's the permissions. What we're doing now, this is one of those sort of cases where it fetches data and then it initiates itself. And I'm not going to, I might need to mock up the Axios response, but I won't test then and there the minimum permissions. That will be with some data that I know and I'll feed through. Yeah. Sorry, not set minimum permissions, it's set maximum permissions. Just rip. I'm just cheating. Oh. The reason being why is because I can just do a unit test for the set maximum permissions. That's not going to be a problem. And then also at the same time, I can do a unit test for the get maximum field value. That's not going to be a problem. And all that is putting known data in and making sure my results make sense when it comes out. Now, also spotted something that can actually be fixed. There we go, easy done, reducing the code. All right, we also still got to implement the error cases here. And I don't know what I want to do. So I'm just having a quick think in my head what I could do. I can have an error page that literally just states what the error is, where I can forward the person to the error, and it can be like, yo, I couldn't get to your API, can't get your permissions, can you this is where it's what we have to do. It's because most of the screen won't be loaded in. And the user won't have any permissions. I can't send them back to login screen. I mean, I can. I can send the user back to the login screen. But I'd rather the user know that there's an issue. So I'm just giving it a good thought. I think we need an error screen. I'll do that before I do all this testing because I want to implement the error method. Because I know toast won't work here because nothing is loaded in yet. So I'm racking through all the different possibilities in my head. There's going to be a very rare edge case. This is going to be like they've just logged in and then the server goes down. So they've got the initial, they've logged in, they've got the token. Server's literally just gone down. They've at least got the static files and all that kind of stuff. And now their client's trying to contact the API for the user's permissions. It just can't. So I'm just giving it a good thought. They won't have permissions to anything. Actually, I probably won't need the error screen. And what I could potentially do is it'll take the user to forbidden. I can then deal with toasts on this. And I'm just gonna, we could do something like this. However, I want it more pervasive on the screen. I don't want a modal, but at the same time, I kind of want to tell the user, and I've got to think about people who are using screen readers. How am I going to tell the screen reader, hey, there's new toast, read this, out to the user. Whereas navigating to an error page will at least tell the user, hey, there currently is an issue. And I can pass through a code as in like a login error or something like that. However, I should be using toasts whenever there's another problem. So, yeah. The other thing I could potentially do is refresh the page, but I'm not notifying the user what to do. I could do a modal, which will pop up, which would work very well. The error modal could easily just pop up and notify the user that there's been a critical issue and that they should refresh their page. Oh yeah. I'm going to come back to that. Just because I've got way too many options at the moment. Kind of want to see what I can do. So if there is an error, everything will default back to the usual sort of state. So it'll zero out all of these anyway. Set is loaded to true. Notify the user of the issues. And that's what we got to do here. Don't think a toast would work. But having a does they reload the page? Yeah. All right. I don't want them to be redirected to a page. What do I want them to do? I could do a good old-fashioned alert, but those are annoying. I think I'm just going to have to do toasts again. Yeah. All right. Let's go to an example. So that would be a toast. All right, and then what I want to do. God, so many seeds. Come on. I want to see if we can get this to work. So I'm just thinking a toast will probably have to belong in whelk. All right. I think tonight what we're going to do we've got to do that. So, in this particular case, what we want to do is we just want to notify the user, hey, there is an issue, and so forth like that. We'll do it with a toast. You could do an error component that it conditionally renders based on the state that you're always... Yeah, that's also something I could do. You can add more content and options to it rather than a toast. Yeah. Actually, I kind of like that idea. Screw it, let's keep going with this. What I want to do is not NearBeach. So it's been a very long day. I'm slowing down just a little bit. And how are you, Zulets? Hopefully you're going well. Thank you very much for the advice. We've now just got a structure. We've got app structure. The app structure, that's the normal app structure, but down in pages with the app, we've got this. This is where we've got app structure and structure skeleton. Oh. I can put it here. Yeah, screw it. All right, components, error. Not found page. Doing all right? Oh, that's good. Been working on an update, side project as well. Have you? Yeah, I've just been so busy lately, so I'm a bit tired. So yeah. All the help I can get at the moment, I will take it. All right. Now, just having a look at this. All right, we can do something similar. And thank you very much, Zulets, for the follow. Welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. We could put on an error component in here. We'll just call it error component. Great name, I know. Very inventive. We'll structure it similar to how we've got the what I'm trying to think of, the not found page. So up here, we're going to import card component from Welk along with the card header and card footer. And here we'll just go card head card component class equals, and this will be error component, just because we like to do that. Card header. We don't need to worry about any classes or anything like that. H1, ID equals name title, and then login. This is where I'm going to say, at the moment, we're going to do that. I'm going to put it as props, and we're going to feed through stuff because I can see us using this in other places too. I'll throw you a follow there. I feel like we're opposite sides of the world. So fair enough. Yeah. Welcome at least. And then I'm just going to put message. I'm going to put title, message. Message. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. The reason why I chose Vue It's just because I know it a lot better than any other framework. That's all. I do like it also. So yeah. However, I've used the other frameworks too. I've been meaning to learn Svelte. There's another framework that I should start learning soon that's being used for Umbraco. The Lit framework, I think it is. Yeah, I've got to learn this. Just so I can build plugins for Umbraco. Alright. Oh no, I don't need to import anything for the props. I just go declare props, const props. Actually, I probably won't need the props at all. I just need to go define props. We'll have, I like doing this in alphabetical order. Type string required equals true. I have a lot more experience in React, but I tried Vue in the same side project I was updating earlier and fell in love with. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I don't use React that often, but I have a couple of WordPress sites where I use it for custom plugins and so forth like that. All right, title. It's going to be type string, required true. I think that's all we need for this. It's going to be something very, very simple. And what we've got to do is we've got to put it in here. We're only... Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I've got to use this site a lot more. I got my blog site on it, and I got a couple of clients on it. So it's just something simple where I could just throw something together without having to worry about stuff. But I also, my 9 to 5 is mostly .NET with Umbraco. The NearBeach marketing site is Umbraco. I'm playing around with Wagtail, sorry. Which I probably don't know if I will have a front end for that. But we'll find out. Oh, all right. Exclamation point drop. Followed by your favorite emoji. We got to beat Nightbot. Nightbot cheats. Now, I'm going to use computed in here. And what we're going to have, const structure skeleton shows, that will be a simple boolean equals computed. Oh, I've knocked that up. I'm just going to return true for the moment. Actually, I'll show structure skeleton. The reason why I'm going to do this is because even though having just one in here is perfectly fine, that is great. When I have multiple conditions, I start putting it into a computer straight away. It just gives me the ability to extend that out later. Astro, eh? I've never heard of Astro. Oh. Get out of there, seeds. Oh, okay, it's a headless CMS. Oh, fair enough. Oh, sorry. I forgot. I didn't see the ads. So, yeah. I tend to do this when ads actually do happen. Excuse me as I eat my bowl of grapes. It's like 4 seeds per grape. A lot of seeds. That one has 5. Welcome back, everyone. Oh, yeah, I've done this wrong. There we go. Easy done. So we're going to have a couple of conditions in here for both of these. So that will also be const show error component. Return where permission store dot is loaded. We're not that. And we're going to have in the permission store has error. And then any error, login error, permission errors and stuff like that. All right. This is going to be, I'm going to neaten this up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Has error. That's going to be false. And then error information. That's just going to be null. That's perfectly fine. If I can't see it function running at all times. Sadly not. But I'll program that in. Hello, Beef Deer 67. I'm an aspiring web developer and currently a college student. Can you suggest a roadmap workflow on how I would learn web dev? I'm generally want to be able to code big apps without relying on AI. My recommendation: start small. Start with something small that you can do in a day. Just do a little bunch of, even an hour, something that you can do in an hour, and then slowly build up from that. You do also have, and give me 2 seconds, roadmap.io. No, that's not what I want. Aha, that's what I want. This is why I did it on the other screen. You've also got this lovely website, and I'll post this link in the chat in 2 seconds. You can also follow something from here. It depends what you want to do. With web development, it's rather broad. You've got your back end, you've got your system administration, you've got your front end, and so forth like that. Flashbang. Is that another resource? Anyway, with the bright, yep, sorry, it took me 2 seconds to get that. I'm on slow time here. Sorry. So for example, if you wanted to learn front end, you can go in here. Yeah, there's the flashbang here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm on slow mode. I'm exhausted. I've been working non-stop. So yeah, you can sort of go through this and go, all right, this is what I need to know. But don't worry about all of this. My recommendation is to just start building stuff. So yeah, hopefully that helps. My brain went into slow 3D mode for that one. Yep. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling at the moment. All right, so we've got the error information. We've got has error, what we can actually do. Ooh. Oh, no. I think error information is good enough. Give me 2 seconds. I'm getting these seeds out. When we go into here, what we want to do is we'll have error component. We won't need a lot of this. I'll just do something like that. Oh, cool. So, I mean, we can just do it like that. That's fine. Oh, sorry. VF. Talking about slow mode. There we go. Try build X and down the rabbit hole you go. Yep. And welcome Ember After Dark. How are you going? Use actions maybe. Alright, so going back with the component itself, we have message and title. Actually, I'm just going to go message equals. We're just doing that for the moment. Error logging. Error fetching permission data. And then the message itself is where I need the permission store. This will be that's where I need to go back to the permissions. I need to put that. Sorry. Get error information, and that will be just state dot error information. That's just simple as that. Then coming down into here, we will then get error information. This just needs to be like that, so that can then belong up there. My own rabbit hole looking for some light. Don't know what view looks like. Where's the tree? Oh, I like it as a framework. Yeah, project management system sounds like a fun project. Yep, and the best thing is I'm using NearBeach itself to build NearBeach. So yeah, we're just currently refactoring a lot of the code and how the processes work, which does mean that we've got to rewrite quite large chunks of it. So at the moment, I'm rewriting how we're actually going to fetch the user permissions and actually store them so that the user can access certain things on the front end. Sounds like using git to version control git. Yes. Well, yeah, you would do that. No, why is this one having a problem? Okay. We're going to go back into permissions. Oh, I don't know how to... No, it doesn't like that. Ooh, all right. Let's actually look that up. Getters. Oh, okay. Yep. Slightly different. All right, that's not a problem. What we can do. I'm just seeing how they've got it. All right, they've just got it like this, and then it's going to be return this dot error information, kind of like that. Don't mind that at all. I'm assuming Git does do use Git against Git, so yeah, it does make sense. So if we go back to this, we should get, yeah, we've got the string coming through. It says a string. Everyone's happy. And now this, we've got two conditions now. So and permission store dot has error. It's going to be false for this one. So we've got to do it like that. But with this one, it's going to be the opposite. With a has error. Now I need to... Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh, nice. I didn't realize it was that quick. One day. Damn. All right. So that permission will work. If we go back to our here, when we got all of this set, is loaded equals, we're now no longer doing that. What we're setting is tell front end we have an error. And then we're just going to go this dot has error equals true. This is just going to write error into message. So we'll go this dot error message, error information equals. We're doing something like this. We're going to write fetching permission details failed. And then we're just going to go error like that. And that should handle it. So tell front end we have an error. This dot has error equals true. Easy done. Write error into message. This is actually going to be the same line of code here. Oops. I'm going to say it's fine having these like right here and stuff like that. If we were going to do this a couple of times, then I would write a method to sort of consolidate it into one place. But it's just fine there. That's not too much of a problem. What's your backend for this project, Nuxel? Django. So yeah, you'll hopefully see it a little bit later. We're just handling the front end stuff at the moment and getting all the unit tests all ready, so that way I can be happy with this process. Once I'm happy with this process, I will start working with I'll start working with the new project stuff. So getting that rendered out correctly and have the ability to actually send it that information to the API. All right, I am. I know I'm going to have to do another action in here later. It'll be more of a get. But I'm not worried about that just yet. It'll be very similar to this. Where I'll filter out the groups that the user has access, write access to, or creation access, I should say. All right. Okay. So I'm still eating these grapes. I'm almost through them. Let's start doing the tests. So once again, we'll do a unit test on this, unit test on this, where we know what the results are. I know this is using the other one, but that's perfectly fine. RBAC can be quite challenging at times. I'm terrible with acronyms. You're going to have to deacronize that for me. I remember someone coming in and asking me about an LLM, and I was like, what's an LLM? I'm that shocking with acronyms. Role-based access control, yeah. Yeah, it's, there's a lot of fine-grained sort of stuff for this. And I haven't even taken into consideration the lower level of this. Yeah, it's, I know how to tackle it. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Sorry. Yes, I agree. Role-based access control can be quite challenging at times. Especially if you got like child elements and special cases, like for example, giving a read-only user the ability to comment on stuff. I'll just drop the grape. Sorry, I'm trying to not squish the grape into the carpet. This is what happens when I get this tired. I just drop things. All right. So I want to do a unit test on this. I want to do a unit test on that. And then I want to do a mock test on this. I know I'm not going to test the try catch, but I am going to test the error, and I am going to, yeah, just mock Axios and stuff like that. Yeah. So, NearBeach is, you have things called permission sets and groups, and the idea is, in a nutshell, it's a Venn diagram. You've got your permission set, you got your group, and you're essentially grabbing this in here, which will be a number between 0 and 4. That's in a very basic nutshell. It gets a little bit more confusing than that, but at the end of the day, it's just math. All right. right, let's close all of those. What I want to do is I've got the old one on the other side, is I want to import the sect active pinia, the create pinia. I want to import the describe, test, expect, and before each from the tests. We want to import use nav. No, this isn't nav store. Use permission store. All right. So then we've got to describe. I can't spell. There we go. So this will be the permission store. This will be. I'm just wondering if I should split up each action. Oh, I'm using Ubuntu. Just plain old vanilla Ubuntu. Nothing special. 24.04. I've just realised next month I've got to upgrade to the next LTS. Unless I stay on this one for a little bit longer. Depends on a bunch of things. So yeah, just no. I used to, when I had lots of time and I was a lot younger and had a lot more energy, I used to distro hop and try out all the different distros and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun back then. Nowadays, I'm just like, I've got something I know and I like, and I'm used to. I got my flow happening, so yeah. I'm just wondering if I want to actually split all of these up. And I'm going to say yes. So we're going to do that. We're going to make sure this is async. Yeah, before each, we've got to set active pinia, create pinia. All right, cool. Oops, do I have caps on? That's what's going on. All right, test. Oops. What I'm going to do with the test is I'm going to mock, because this doesn't require anything from any, I don't need to call anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mock the permission data. So it fetches what the permission data and stuff like that. So I'm going to test the one where we hit this case, where there's no data, it's not going to fail, we get a 0. Use Manjaro Xface. Oh, fair enough. I used to use Xface on a very old laptop back in like 2006. Very long time ago. Too old to hop. My distro bones are getting feeble. Fair enough. Yeah. I use Insanity, building my own. Oh, fair enough. I use, yep. Front project, only break my computer like 15 times a day. Fair enough. But it's a learning curve and stuff like that. You figure out how all the system comes together. It's one of those things that when you got a job interview, especially in that sort of general area, you can talk about it. You can be like, oh yeah, I did this and I bricked it, and the reason why I did bricked it was because I forgot to do this or this that. So yeah, another day, another kernel panic. Yep. No, fair enough. But yeah, seeing how all the packages sort of together, pretty cool. Sorry, all these seeds. So we're going to test this one first. We're going to test permission data. Yep, data is empty, and thus everything returns a 0. And then async this, and then now we've got const permission store equals use permission store. All right, sweet. Defaults are fine. So in this sort of case, what we're going to do is we're going to test every single outcome. So expect this is where we're going to pass through all the field values. Now, I've also realized that we've got an edge case here. If field we did this just before. It's down here. No, it's in the router. Sorry, when I'm this tired, I just program bugs in for the fun of it. All right, to do fetch permissions. No, it has permissions. So no, sorry, it is back in there. Wait, get out of my way. Has permission if in is what I want. So is field in this dot permission data. In this sort of case, I want not in, but I don't think that works. What I think I've got to do, that doesn't work either. All right, that works. Anything done. I've got to test that sort of case. So if something is not in there, we're still going to get 0. This is the last grape. And it has 1 seed. All right. All right. If there is no data, no permissions. If the field does not exist, no permissions. Is it done? Add it to the spreadsheet. Yeah. All right. So I've got that. In here, expect, this is where, we go through each of the fields. So that would be pretty much all of these. I'm just gonna grab not grab that. And RW Grim, welcome. It's a bit late for you. It's 8 PM here. I'm scared what the time is there. Oh, I'm guessing 3 AM. All right, there it is, 3 AM. All right, that is very late. So yeah, thank you very much for the rate. We just hit ads. I do apologize for those that have just come through. For those that don't have ads, which a lot of people won't. Welcome, I'm Robotic Head. I'm currently working on an open source project management system. We are currently going through a massive refactor, which you're currently going to view. So, yeah. Twitch Turbo for the win, yep. Fair enough. Raid is just the ad dropped. Yeah, I know, I didn't even get time to dismiss the ad or something like that, but oh well, these things happen. So yeah, I've done it many a times. Many a times. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's going well. It's the weekend here. Well, the weekend has just started here, which is great. Long weekend for me, which is going to be great. So I might stream a little bit more on Monday. So yeah. We also are joined today by Socks. There she is, she's not causing much trouble at the moment, which is nice. I do enjoy it when Socks doesn't sit on the mouse or keyboard. So yeah. Alright, we've got about 7 seconds of the ads. She's like looking at me now, judging me. Alright, welcome back everyone. For those that were stuck in the ads, thank you very much. Yeah, that's Socks there. I've had her for... Oh god, when did I buy this place? I had her since 2015. Sorry, 10... Wait, what year is it? 11 years. Yeah, not trashing the keyboard, yes. Believe it or not, she will sit on my keyboard during stream. She'll sit on my mouse and stuff like that all the time. But yes, welcome those from RW Grimm's stream. I'm Robotic Head. I'm building a project management system, and we're currently going through a massive refactor. So yeah, tonight we're I'm just wondering why I've got... maximum permissions. This is what I want. I want this. Alright, copy. Because, yeah, that's the current object permissions. Yes. And then you've got special permissions on specific things, whether or not a user has the ability to upload documents when they're in a read-only mode and stuff like that. So, yeah. Alright, cool. I'm exhausted. My brain's out the door already, but we're going to continue doing this. We're just running some unit tests. I'm just putting those in there just because my brain ain't working. All right, I need to actually see them on the screen. So we're going to type in Kanban board .2b, and we're going to say 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Then we want to type in project. Then we want to type in request for change. And then we want to type in requirement. And then we want to type in settings. And then we want to type in task. Easy done. Oh, settings. That's a special case settings. I don't think that's going to get set with the code I've got at the moment. The settings will be flagged as either 1 or 0, depending if the user is an administrator. And I should actually send that data from that API call. So yeah. Way off topic, but do you play any games in your spare time? Yes, I do. I do actually really thoroughly enjoy gaming. I'm only playing one game at the moment, and it is Unicorn Overlord. However, I have not had much time in the last 2 weeks to play any of it. It does take me a while to actually get through games at the moment, just because most of my free time is trying to get NearBeach, at least the ball rolling for the refactor. So yeah, it's all the little tiny things which just take time that I don't do on stream that, yeah, take away from that. So yeah, this is what I'm playing at the moment on my good old Switch Lite. So yeah. And I have a couple of games lined up already after it. So, anyway, I don't think settings will work. We're going to put these in the test anyway. And I'm just thinking we might need to change or modify the API. Which is fine. We can do that. But we can write the tests first and then modify the API. Then modify this code, and you know, if it's working before and working afterwards, yeah, that's a good solution. That's good enough. All right, so we've got all of this. We're all expecting all of the defaults to be like that. And then what I want to do, test permission data. Actually, I'm gonna ask for a permission not present in the no, I've got to do that. All right. So what I'm trying to think of. Why am I over there? I'm over here. I'm going to try and test this line of code, but first I've actually got to get some permission data in there and then test it. So yeah, I'm excited for the new Path of Exile League happening in 10-ish hours. Oh, nice. Can't wait to play that tonight. Fair enough. Well, if it's in 10 hours... Oh, it depends where you are. Well, 10 a.m. Alright, yeah, 10 hours, yep, makes sense. Sorry, my brain is just... For some strange reason, I thought you said 10 p.m. before. Don't worry. I can kind of read sometimes. Anyway, so I've got to fill out some permission data to test this. That's not going to be a problem. We'll skip that test at the moment. What I want to actually do is... I'm going to cheat. Cheating. You'll see exactly what I'm going to be doing. Test permission data with variation number 1. This will be async. This will be that. And then what we've got to do is set the data. This is the unit test. We can actually do that. We're just going to go permission store dot, and then we're going to go permission data equals, and we're just going to paste what I just copied from there. Spain. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, welcome. I don't know any Spanish, so yeah. Till the test traffic bro, the data is there. Yep. All right. Now I don't know why it's throwing up an issue. Because, yeah, the permission... give me 2 seconds. I'm just double checking that I've got the right field. Don't need that socks. Those are... Oh, she just... Yeah, it's permission data. And yeah, we just get the response and data and shove it in. I'm just gonna split this down in... Oops. Just gonna split this down very, very quickly. I don't know why I'm getting this red text. Now, I have a theory. All right. Is not assignable type never. Administrator assigned user to group.
Yeah, that's a number.
I'm not going crazy, am I? Possibly, but it should be an array of objects. All right, I've made a mistake. All right, this is why we unit test. If we have a look at this permission data up here. All right. That's where I got to think about this. Give me 2 seconds. Prototype, no. Yeah, I think I skipped that.
All right, that's coming through as any. Yeah, I don't have. Don't know why I've got it like that, where everywhere else I don't have that. Permission data equals response.data. Yeah, I've just got that as an array. So if I just do this, I'm just going to go hello people. Still has a problem. All right, yeah, I've got to fix this up here. So give me 2 seconds. Actually, I don't need it. I need to go define a store, and then I just need to go types. No, not types. Oh. And then how have I done it everywhere else? There it is, maximum permission interface. For that. Once again, I'm going to cheat. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to paste that back in. What I want to do is I want to go interface, and these interfaces will be moved out of here and actually put somewhere else. And Hush, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. We're just going to call this permission data interface. And then what I want to do, I'm going to extract it out. I'm going to put it in there. That way I can just do this very, very quickly. Oh, I don't know why that's not scrolling all the way down. You're going good? I'm assuming by that, yes, sir. That's awesome news. It is the weekend here, so I'm happy. I am currently trying to get all these permissions unit tested and all that kind of stuff. I'm a bit concerned that that's administration in that case. That's not what I want. But that's fine for the moment. this does take a little while. I do apologize. And I'll get it to the state where it works, and then later on, yeah, I'll move it to somewhere proper. And that's it. All right, I can delete all of that. Delete that. And very similar to this up here, we just go through and, in fact, I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to copy that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paste this all the way through. Oh, made a mistake. Okay, so all of those will be a number except for the group name, which will be a string. The administration. I'm going to have a quick look. Let's have a look at the JSON data. Oh, group name. All right, yeah, no, that's a delete that. This is a perfect task for AI. Yeah, just yeah, doing the boilerplate stuff. Yes. Remember, AI should be treated as a tool and not a crutch. So yeah, trying an API response is a menial task that is easy enough to defer to. Yeah, I would agree there. Yep. Now, down here, we've got permission data as, and then I think we do something like that. Socks, your tail is in the way. Then, thank you, Socks. I don't think I can do that. If I go raw data, and I'm just, oops, open up the wrong command. Oh, Sucks, tail. Everyone, exclamation point drop followed by your favorite emoji. I'm going to do socks. We've got to beat Nightbot because Nightbot cheats. I'm also cheating. I'm just going to paste this into here. As you see, I've done this many times. And the reason why I do it like that is so it looks pretty when I get it here. That's all. I'm gonna I didn't do that line. All right, I'm just going to do it like that manually. That way, when people are reading the test, they can see exactly what's going on and so forth like that. For the other tests, we're going to modify a lot of these numbers. Can you also do permissions or null? Oh yeah, good point. I should be actually keying in null. Thank you. Permission data. I think I gotta have something like that, and then null. Oh, I was not liking any of that. No, it's not liking that. Not a problem. Did I do it as capital lower? Lower, yeah. There you go. Easy done. Now I've got an error on this page. All right, we just got to do a null check. If permission data, oh, actually, just in case it ever gets set like that. And then down here, return. This is all the TypeScript stuff, which crazy stuff that I got to work around. You'll tell it to be like, no, it's going to be that, and oh, I could recharge my headset soon. Let's get the jeevers out of me then. Sorry, my headset just told me to recharge. View element explicitly has any type because expression type string. We did this the other day. We did it down here. This is, we've just got to program in these extra sort of conditions. So I'm just gonna do that because we're gonna cheat. We're gonna go field as key of, and we're going to type in permission data interface. Easy done. And field in this dot permission data. Now, I don't need this line or this line, but what that does do for us, it should allow us to do that. Oh, I didn't like the... Well, don't tell me I've got to do that again and again and again. But... fallback, return 0. Done. That's fine. As for this, this will be of type permission data interface, and this will be of type permission interface. All right, easy done. And this is where this really that's a string. That's not a type any. View element implicitly has an any type because expression of type string. Oh, don't I have to then wrap this again? Oh, I know what's going on. All right, so one of the fields is a string, not a number. All right. So, if I go into here, I think what I've got to do is const results. Const results equals this. but I've got to state that results is either a number or a string. All right. Actually, we're going to make it like that. We are then getting rid of this and this. So that will be fine. Now, there's no way this will work if it is a string. So we're going to program it so thus if the variable is a string, we at least return true or false, or which a default row. So what I've got to do is in here I've got to do const condition equals the previous field of the current field. So there's the condition. Once again, these aren't string. All right, cool. All right, fine. If type of previous field equals number and type of also equals number. What is that having problems now? An element implicitly has an any type because the expression type string can't be indexed. Permission, da da da. Oh god, this is where I've got to write some more shitty code. So I'm just having a good think about this. I keep dropping things. Alright, I'm going to do this so everyone can see the whole lines of code. This is getting a bit ridiculous. I can understand why it's doing it like this. We could have a string, and then the greater than functionality doesn't work. So we go over here, we open up a console. Let's just delete that. Let's go var a equals hello, var b equals world, and then we do something like this. That, I mean, this works no matter if it's a no index signature with alert. I mean,
If you group the fields in separate objects based on type, you run your logic, then spread them all together in return. The idea is this is just a reduced functionality in JavaScript. The field types will be exactly the same, but TypeScript's throwing up an issue. And it's annoying the hell out of me. I'm trying to get this to work. To just essentially remove these TypeScript errors.
And I think I can cheat. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, no, there we go. It threw up an issue. Oh, this is getting ugly very, very quickly. Oh, all right.
So let me get this data. So I've got this data here. We'll zoom in. Essentially, the idea is you got a single row for a permission set and group. Easy done. Against the user. So a user could be added to multiple different groups, and they might have different permission sets between each of those groups. So for example, they might be talking with, they might belong to one team, but also help out with another team and stuff like that. So for the main team, they might have all write and create permissions, and that other team that they're joining, they might only have read only. So the idea of this, the reduce, is to actually get the maximum permission number for each one of these items. So for example, if the person is an administrator assigned to a user group and so forth, that you've then got your, for example, customers, whether or not they can create, read, and so forth for customers, whether they can do projects and so forth, requests for changes and so forth like that. So I'm trying to find the maximum permission that they have. And the reason being is I can use that to determine if they can actually create new projects at all. So if they've only got, let's say, read-only or edit-only access, we need to actually remove functionality from the front end. And that functionality would be this little plus here. Other things would be if they don't have permissions at all. Let's say they don't have permissions for requirements or projects at all in any group or any capacity. What we can do is we can actually hide those tabs. These here. So, yeah. So that reduce will actually help us. We just feed a field name through and we're like, hey, this is the field we're after. Can you reduce this? Now, if this code's going to get really complicated, which I can see it getting complicated, what I can do is just do this in a for loop and call it a day. And then probably tackle the reduce later on.
the main issue here is the reduce is having a problem with the TypeScript. I've got to do all these type checks and stuff like that. It's making the code look ugly and harder to read. In this sort of case, yeah, I would potentially look at... Sorry, I'm trying to rack my brain. I would potentially look at doing this as a for loop. Sorry, my headset is telling me to charge it, so I am going to quickly charge it. Yeah. All right. Because I want to listen to music later on. So, yeah. Don't worry, I've got another headset. I've got my other. There's a little. I've got to buy a new padding for it though. This is the one I take to my gym. Okay, I'm just going to pretend it's on and do this. Realize, oh, this won't fit in there. Ah, not a problem. I do have that cord somewhere, but I don't know where it is today. I'll have my other option. From what I've seen, you have a few fields that are strings and not numbers, which, yeah, would be problematic. So I can handle that in a for each situation. Right. Oh, that's a lot louder on the... Oh. There we go. Which also reminds me, has Chill Hop Music fixed their OAuth? No, I haven't. Alright. It's a weekly thing now. Oh, yeah, I forgot. There we go. Alright. So yeah, let's just change this now. So what we've got is permission result is 0. We're going to have it as a let. What we're going to do is we're just going to have a not that, we're going to go this dot permission data dot for each. I know it's easier to do, sorry, not easier, I know it's quicker to do it with getting length -1 and just doing a for loop that way. At this time of day, I just need to, I'm not too worried about making this very, very quick, because the idea being is a user will only have a few of them. They're not going to have lots of these permissions. They might have up to 10 maximum. But yeah, I don't foresee someone being in 100 of different permissions and groups and so forth like that. Yeah. So in this sort of case, I'm heavily leaning on making the code readable and easier to understand. So we're just going to go item. And then in here, what we're going to do is we're going to go... We're going to go item result. We're going to make that either a string or a number. And we're going to go item. And we're passing through the field. Now, that's where... element implicitly has an any type because the expression type string can't be used to be an index type. Yeah, and we did get around this before. And this is... No, that will be in item. And then, I thought that's how we got it before. Object and key, Yeah, that's how. So we got around it before. I'm just going to go back up here. I'm going to do that. We're going to change a few things. Instead of object, we're going to go field. Because we're passing through the field. The field is in the item. And then we're going to comment those out. And then we're going to go const item results equals this dot item and then field. Still throwing up an issue. Come on. Oops. This is gonna piss me off. I'm too tired for this. Alright, they're all numbers apart from one, which is going to be a string. Alright, I'm just going to copy this. We're just gonna go Google. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna. What if type of field is not number? You just early return. I say yes. I'm gonna say yes. So it's doing it here also. Oh, sorry, big God. Oh. All right. Let's try that. I'm just going to paste that there. Let's just pretend those didn't exist. All right, let's go. I'm going to use it as a let. We'll figure it out. Okay, so that will be item field as key of type of item. All right. If item type of item results does not equal number, we just return 0. Early return. And then permission results will equal, and this is where we go permission results is less than the item results. We then make it item results, otherwise we return all of that. I don't know why that's all red. Probably because I pluralized it. It's gonna be something like that. All right, there we go. Check the value. All right, cool. Now, could I put that all in the reduce? Look at the JavaScript functionality reduce. Actually, you know what? Let's try and do the reduce. I'm getting rid of that. Getting rid of that. Oh, I don't think I need that. I think these are implied by the types. No, all right. The reason why I'm saying no, I think my brain just went, no, that's too hard. Permission result. I think at another day, yes, let's do that. But tonight, my brain's just not there. So to do, look at implementing this as a reduce functionality instead of a for each. Yeah, and thank you very much, Zulets. So yeah, I think that if it isn't a type number, just return it. I think you're right in that sort of case. That way we can just get it to not bother with any of that. I'm just also wondering if there is an escape command out of for each. Gotta. Really sucks. No, I'm guessing not. I think the return will be good. What do I think about that? I think you got to use this AI as a tool, not a crutch. If you start using it as a crutch, I mean, you're not going to get really good programming yourself. Yeah. That's it. Like, yeah. Double check my return. So if type of item result is not a number, we return. All right, cool. Otherwise, yeah, all right. Yeah, it's kind of like anything. If, for example, you wanted to build a table and you got someone else to build a table, you're not getting any better at building a table. So, yeah, if you want to program, you've got to program. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with AI, just don't use it as a crutch. In the condition, oh yeah, I can just do that. So stop standing on my mouse. Or do you mean this condition down here? So if permission results is less than that, we change the, Yep, thank you very much. Yep, that would have been a massive bug. That would have taken me weeks to figure out. So, especially at my current state. So. Awesome. So, we've got all that. I'm now happy with that, considering we started off with trying to fix TypeScript in our test itself, and then we've just fuel save, and then we've essentially gone on a tangent to make TypeScript happy. We're finally back here. Now, with this particular one, we know what these are going to be set as and stuff like that in here. We're going to have a couple of variations and so forth like that. Ones where you'll have one set being higher than the other set, and one set being lower, and all of this fun sort of stuff. Yeah. So, one of the things that we want to also do here is we've just got to copy all of these. I'm just going to paste them down there for the moment. I'm just linting everything. From here, yeah, why is that bad? Yeah, I know that. We'll fix that up. So, what we can do... I'm just having a quick look at this. We can... These permissions still need to come through. In fact, we should be testing all of them. Yeah, we should be testing all of them. Except with group name should come back as 0. So, yeah. What I'm going to do, what's the quickest way to... I'm just going to cheat. Alright. I'm just going to copy. We're just going to go down here. We're just going to paste these all in here like this. We're just going to, oh god, not do that. Actually, blessing in disguise. Look at that. I did something by mistake and it actually worked for me. This night's coming up Millhouse now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go expect permission store dot get maximum field value and do something like that and hit escape and boom, what we wanted. And then I've got to go boom boom dot to be, and I'm just going to put 0 at the start. I'm going to go through all these numbers and double check them in a minute. I'm just going to copy that. Okay, there's socks. Oh, be careful, socks. Don't do something silly. She has fallen off the desk before. It was absolutely hilarious. There we go. And then what I can do, I can get rid of this. And then we can test all of these, including group name. Yeah, I meant to do that. You know, yeah, I'm genius. Now, the other thing which I kind of want to have a look at is... Oh, this is actually annoying me, so I'm just going to do something like that. And I'm going to do that. There we go. All right. We've got all of these set to 4. Now, some of these, like document, is going to be either a 1 or a 0. That's fine. That's because they're just booleans. So
these particular permissions are set up mainly for read-only users. Read-only user can't edit anything whatsoever. However, a read-only user might want the ability to add on any comments, upload any documentation, and so forth like that. That's what the 0-1 permissions are all about. It's just to be like yay or about doing that specific task. And they're essentially just sub-permissions. So, what I know is it's going to be mostly fors, the organization note. We're going to match these up to how this is set up. And when we do the other tests and stuff like that, we'll play around with it. What I kind of want to do, so I want to set up one where there's 0 permissions. It's just going to be a lot easier for this to calculate. I don't think we need that many unit tests around this. We just need to make sure that this is definitely calculating in specific cases. I think that will be good enough. And then we've got all fors for this. Yep, alright, cool. So, what we know is that's going to be a 4, that's going to be a 4, that's going to be a 4, that's going to be a 4. Customer is going to be a 4. Document is going to be, depends what is up here. I'm going to 1 these out. Easy done. They call them the world's useless user. Yep. So a 1, the group ID, that's going to be a 0, always going to be a 0. Actually, no, group ID. Oh. We don't need to calculate the group ID at all, because that's actually a primary key. This sort of case, I'm going to exclude it from testing. It's perfectly fine being fed into the system like that. It's... Oh, actually, we've got to undo. Sorry, we need it in the structure, but we don't need it in the tests. Because that number can get up to hundreds and so forth like that. Sucks. Right, did you want to be on the camera? Is that why? You're like, yes, I want to. There you go. Thank you, Socks. The group name, we need a test for the Kanban board. It's going to be 4. Organization is going to be 4. Organization note, that's going to be a 1 to start off with. Project is going to be 4, so you're in the way. Project note, that's going to be a 1. Request for change, that's going to be a 4. Requirement is going to be a 4. The notes are going to be a 1 because they're the scheduled object. That's going to be a 4. Sprint is going to be a 4. Task is going to be a 4. Tag is going to be a 4. Kanban note, it's going to be one of those. All right. So that should be a good test. What I'm going to do, npm run test unit. npm install. Oh. Looks like playwright test or playwright was just installed or updated. Please run the following. Alright, cool. All eyes on the cat. Yep. If I do this, there we go. And I can put her on the big screen. There I go. Are you gonna look up here again? Yep, there's the
However, I don't want to encourage her to look at the camera so much. The reason why I have a really dodgy camera and everything's a bit blurry and stuff like that, someone kept jumping up and batting the camera off the monitor. And ended up breaking it. Oh, we're in an ad break. Sorry, I just realized we're in an ad break. We can actually watch Socks a little longer. There we go. Yes. About 30 seconds of the ads. This is probably going to be the last ad break. I'm going to call it very shortly. I'm getting exhausted. I want to at least get some of these tests running, so that way on the weekend I can just start doing all of these unit tests and hopefully moving on to actually hooking up the ability to create some projects. Camera is pretty, yes. Yep. And she kept doing it too. Like, I would walk away from stream and it'll be like the empty background screen, and then you just see Socks's face really close to the camera, followed by a paw knocking it off the thing. So, alright, so flashbang, there we go. Ooh, we found a few tests, like accessibilities and stuff like that. Not too much of a problem. Some of these tests will, of course, fail because I've changed stuff, like the app spec. Mount component, yeah, that will fail because we're expecting the router to send something back. All right, cool. I might need to mock up the app and so forth like that. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So I'm just having a good think. Okay. However, we don't want to deal with the app today. What we want to deal with is the spec. So here's the permission specs. The search spec doesn't work because there's nothing in it, of course. Permission data is empty and thus returns 0 for everything. Yep. Cool. I might need to actually copy all of these and put them up here. 82, all right. All right, and then we want all of these to be 0. Sorry, there is a quicker way of doing this in Vim. I just don't know it. I'm sorry, I can hear Max snoring. I don't know if anyone else can hear that. Right, so I'm just going to hit rerun for that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to hit rerun for that. Expected and received. All right, 96. Expected. All right. So what's not happening is I'm not running the... Actually, no, I don't need to run anything. Because this is off permission data, and we've just set permission data. That's why I don't use it. Well, learning another editor is not on the bucket list. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. No, I do enjoy Vim bindings and so forth like that. I do miss them when I don't have them. I am getting better with them. So it's just memorizing all the little different tips and tricks. But it's one of those things where you only need to learn about 20% of it to get 80% benefit. All right. What am I doing here? Yeah, I'm just getting this. Then got to make sure that the permission results, unless I am getting a 0, because this is failing. Oh, don't sit on the mouse. I just want to test one thing. All right. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Yeah. There could be two things that's going wrong here. One, it's not looking through this, or two, the item results thinks it's a string for some strange reason, which it shouldn't. Because yeah, these are definitely numbers. And we are storing the permissions in there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Oh no, yeah, alright, yeah, no, that really, really sucks. No, I'm okay, I'm just tired. So, yeah. Don't forget to drop everyone, we've got to beat Nightbot. Nightbot cheats. If you do exclamation point and drop, Jesus, Nocturnal, he just went really fast. Ooh, just missed out. I'm going to do Judgmental Max. Yep. So we should be getting a max version of 4 from here. Over here. Oh, sorry. And it's just not working. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that I haven't broken everything. We're going to boot up dev. We're going to go to NearBeach application. We're going to hit reload. We're getting rid of the forbidden. Alright, so it looks like I do have permissions. If I move this off to the left and go into the view stuff, we jump into the Pinia stuff, we check out the permissions. There's our reactive permissions. If we get the max permissions, ooh. All the max permissions are 0. Which also should mean that, oh no, this is dashboard. Everyone has access to the dashboard, but if I go to the project, boom, forbidden. Easy win. Oh, nice. 88.43. Congrats. So yeah, I've mucked up something. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do the console log the hell out of this. So I am going to go console log. I'm just going to go. I can't read anything because Sox's head is in the way. Permission result. Permission result. And then item result. Results. Yep, item results. All right, I'm going to put that there. And then I'm just going to put console log condition
condition. And I'm just going to grab this. We're just going to copy that. We're just going to paste it into here like this. And yes, and it's actually really, really good. I will go console log. We're going to go type of up here. Oops, socks. You know I'm streaming, right? She's like, yes. That's why I'm doing this. Type of item results. And we're just going to go over here. We're not getting any of this. All right, we must be hitting something up here. So I'm going to write console log escape condition 1. I'm just going to link that. It might be this. Yeah, escape condition 2. All right. If I go console, sorry, if I go const escape condition equal field in this dot permission data into yep. Escape. I think I know what I've done wrong. Yeah, all right. It's because it's an array. This is an array. That's the problem. I think I've got to do that. No. Tell you what, I'm just getting rid of this. And then in here, what will actually happen is, there we go, that will work. If I go to project now, we've got project working. All right, cool. We've just got to double check to make sure. Yeah. Because if I pass through something random in here, sucks, it's just run away. So I pass something in. I've got to check to make sure. Give me 2 seconds. JavaScript field is inside interface. Interface is usually defined as the shape of an object, all that kind of stuff. We just want to check. Vehicle character, implements vehicle character. Alright, cool. Not what I want. But I will. First row equals cool. Yep. If field where we've got to do something like this. Field in first row return 0. No, it's not going to. What did I have before? Yeah, I had it like that. I'm gonna have to run. Just knock these out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a specific test to test for these cases. I just want to see what actually happens, whether or not we get a massive error. But in the meantime, I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to go back to this. We're going to reload. Here we are. We're happy. We can get to the project. All good. We're going to stop this. We're going to npm run test, and we're going to do our unit test. Now that's going to bring up Chrome. Hopefully it won't flashbang. Oh god, it did too. We're going to just minimize a lot of these. I'm just going to zoom in so you guys can actually read. Also, way too close. So some of them pass. All right, cool. Yeah, some of them have not passed. I need to go back and actually redo a lot of these unit tests, but that's fine. We have made massive changes and things work a little bit differently. Also, I haven't written any unit tests for search. So in here, we've got permission data, this, we expected a 4 and we got a 1. That is on line 64. So we just go into our tests, we scroll all the way up to 64. Oh, 115, sorry. Oh, sprint, all right, no. If I scroll up, yeah, sprint's a 1. If you just add 0 in the check to directly grab the first object. Yeah, I did that. I'm not gonna worry too much at the moment because I'll write a specific test for this to see what will actually happen. I'll get these tests running, perfect. We're gonna write that, whoa, be careful, socks. We're gonna run that test right now. I'm just gonna copy this. We're just gonna bump this down like this. We're gonna get rid of all of these. And then what I wanna do, fake field 1. That's just gonna be 0. We're just gonna get rid of that. Actually, we're just gonna have fake field. We only need to test this once. Alright, we'll scroll up, permission data. Test with fake field. Yeah, with fake field. We're just going to bump over into here, test with fake field. Alright, cool. So it looks like it is doing what we want it to, where it's going to pass out a 0 for that. And we're like, we also got to test the group name. Oh no, we are testing the group name. Yeah, that's always going to be a, always going to be a 0. Now, I'm going to do one more test with this. Actually, I'm going to do 2 more tests. So I'm going to bump down these to 3. The reason being is these down to 0. I want to see if I change everything, it's going to give me different values. And our other last test is all going to be zeros. All right, so if we go down here, we're now going to change these all to 3s. These to zeros, that's always going to be 0. Left to 0. All right, cool. And yeah, the last test, that should be it. This one's going to be oh, that was me that time, not socks. So we're actually going to get rid of this one, which is fine. And then we've got the one with all the zeros in it. And all of these will be 0. So the person won't have any permissions whatsoever. Easy done. How did all of those tests do? I'm happy with that, the permission sets. So we got that. We'll have more tests for the other functionality in there. If we have a look at this, so we've just tested the get max field value, and I'm happy with that, with those particular tests. We've tested it escaping for this, we tested it when the field doesn't actually exist in there, and all those kind of fun stuff. Yeah, cool. Now, this, we've got to test this set maximum permission. That's going to be easy. It's going to be, we can write these tests separate of the one which we just wrote, or we can lump them in at the same time, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I'm going to call it there tonight. I'm surprised I made it this long. So yeah, hopefully on the weekend, what I can do is I can write the test for this, and then I will just need to mock the Axios, get results, and then from there be able to go, all right, cool, these are going to be the results that you want and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, let's find someone to raid. We have a few people on tonight. Oh, sorry, pick on. All right. And cheers. Thank you very much. I also hope you have a good weekend. Hopefully I will sleep well tonight. Hopefully. Yep. We are going to raid Ornica. They're currently working on Lichess. Yeah, Lichess. So yeah, we'll go on and read on through. There we go. There they are. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for being here tonight. It's been wonderful. Hopefully I can get these unit tests done, and then I'll fix up the other unit tests too, just so that everything's all working. Yeah, alright, thank you very much, and have a great day. I'm going to hit the raid now. Oh, if I can. There you go. Anyway, for those on YouTube, sadly you won't be able to come along and join us for the raid, but thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help.